It is Friday, July the 18th.
This is The Warning.
The Wall Street Journal reports this morning that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were more than just best friends. They were pen pals. In fact, the 45th and 47th President of the United States drew pictures for his pedophile friend, scrolling his eponymous signature, Donald Trump, where the pubic hair should have been on the sketched outline of what we must suppose, between the inside jokes contained in the book presented to Jeffrey Epstein by Ghislaine Maxwell, was a known secret. Now, when the Wall Street Journal was reporting this story, Donald knew all about it. All of the feverish phone calls, the threats, the back and forth, the phone call to Rupert Murdoch, who Trump said in his Truth Social post said he would kill the story. But he didn't. The editor of the Wall Street Journal published it. Now Trump has threatened to sue them, sue Rupert Murdoch, sue News Corp, and to break the Wall Street Journal as he did ABC News, as he did CBS News. But here's the thing. What Trump calls a Democratic hoax, while he was negotiating with Rupert Murdoch to keep the story of the deep friendship out of the Rupert Murdoch-owned paper, it's not the sign of a Democratic hoax. That's the sign of a Trumpian lie.
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden we went through years of that with the Russia hoax. With all of the different things that we had to go through, we've gone through years of it. But she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release, yeah.
And all of the lies and all of the degeneracy is coming home to roost. Powered by conspiracy theory, the Epstein case took on a life of its own. People like Kash Patel.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
And Dan Bongino.
That Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it. Outside of a few entrepreneurial media outlets saying, hey, this is a big deal.
And Alex Jones and Steve Bannon. These people created a story that there was a cover-up by the Biden administration about what it is that Jeffrey Epstein did. But there was no cover-up. Just like there was no cover-up about Biden's condition. It all played out just like most things do these days, in front of everybody, in the plain light of day. Again, democracy doesn't die in darkness. It dies in high noon. Maybe it dies at a $50 million wedding in Sicily. But the one place it does not die is in the darkness. What Trump hopes is that people will grow tired of the story and that they will move on. But no one is moving on. Laura Loomer isn't moving on. Alex Jones isn't moving on. None of the MAGA nut jobs are moving on. And all of the MAGA nut jobs know what MAGA nut jobs were at the head of the Epstein parade. Kash Patel can do one of two things. He can remain in good standing with Donald Trump, or he can please that MAGA base. Truth of the matter is, there's a lot of people looking at Donald Trump's swollen ankles this morning and saying, how much time does the guy have left? He's obese, he's out of shape, his ankles are the size of a hippopotamus. And while Trump never talks about his age or his ailments. Truth of the matter is, he's 80. And just maybe some of these ambitious younger MAGAs are looking at Donald Trump saying, this guy doesn't have that much time left. And I don't have any connection to Epstein. So why am I going to take the fall with MAGA for what Kash Patel is covering up? For what Dan Bongino is now covering up? What Pam Bondi is definitely covering up? And the answer to that is they won't and they can't, because there's something deeply true about all conspiracy theories. In the end, they devour themselves like a snake eating its tail. The only conspiracy here is the conspiracy of silence between the rich and powerful men. And that's what's unraveling, what's unwinding. Donald Trump can evade many, many things, as he's demonstrated. But one of them that he cannot is the grip of a dead pedophile. And Donald has always been lucky with his opponents. He's always found the right one that allows him to use his disgustingness as an asset. But the one person Trump has never won a fight against is Trump. Trump wins fights against other people. His worst enemy has always been himself. And it is Trump who will doom Trump, which has always been Trump's destiny. And at the beginning, Lindsey Graham articulated this better than any person. Lindsey just thought the doom would come in 2016. It didn't. It's going to come between 2025 and 2028. And while the Democratic Party is on its back and in trouble, it's going to get on its feet. The Republican Party, the MAGA Party, well, seems very strong right now, but its numbers are cratering, and it won't hold power past January 1st of 2027 in the Congress. And then, 2 years after that, it will face judgment, repudiation, and obliteration. And after the obliteration comes the accountability. And one of the grave sins in the history of the country is the continued propensity for the American side of the proposition that believes in democracy to give a pass in the accountability era to those that don't. Not this time. And that will have to be at the center of the Democratic campaign of 2028. The masked men, the lawlessness, the corruption, the thieving. The bill is coming due for all of them. Mark my words.
I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning. I invite you to join this community where I promise to be honest, blunt, and direct about what is happening in this country. America is in crisis. Follow and subscribe to this channel and on Substack. Thank you.